Hi, my name is Bill DeGiulio, and I'd like to do a keyboard video. I have a lot of guitar videos on my channel, and I finally realized there aren't any keyboard videos, so I'm going to remedy that with this video. This will be discussion of soloing in general, and soloing over chord progression with a particular kind of feel or making it fit the song. Because getting the right notes, of course, and at the right time is the first priority when doing a solo. But once you've got that down, the next priority is, does the solo communicate what you want it to communicate, and does it fit the mood and concept of the song it's in, and also the place of the song it's in. And I'll discuss that in a minute. The solo I'm going to discuss is the one from my latest dance music video called Never Right. The second solo is a synth solo, and it's over the chord progression as listed on the video, but I'll just go through it quickly. It's a D minor 7, 1 bar. There's 1 bar each, actually. E flat major 7 for 1 bar. E11, or some people would call it a E minor 11. D with an E bass, and E flat 7, which I'll describe in a second what its true function is, and then again D minor 7, E flat major 7, E11, and finally an A dominant 7th. Now, some people would analyze the E flat 7 in the fourth measure as a flat 5 substitute for an A7. That's one way to look at it. Instead of playing an E flat over an A7 chord, I just made the entire chord the flat 5 substitute in this case. So that's an artistic decision, of course, but that's where that chord came from. Now let me briefly talk about the scales that I used, or at least was thinking of when I improvised over this progression. For the D minor, I used D natural minor. So that would be D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. And I tended to play the first chord a little more pentatonically, so I didn't even use a B or a B flat in there, if I remember correctly, in most of my solos. So, but that would be the note of choice. I'd probably choose the B flat over the B. In that case, my ear would go there. Second chord, for the E flat major 7, I would want to use E flat Lydian as opposed to the major scale. Here's why: because number one, it gives me a common tone between, another common tone actually, between the D minor and the E flat major 7. So that would of course be E flat, F, G, A natural, B flat, C, D, E flat. And also I just tend to like the sound of Lydian. It has a little more tension than the major scale. Third chord, I used for the E11 sound, I used a simple D major scale. D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. And for the E flat 7, I used probably the obvious choice, which is E flat Mixolydian, which is E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat. And then the first 3 chords repeat, of course, for the second set of 4 bars. And then the final chord, A7, I was thinking D melodic minor. So basically starting on A, if you want to think of it as based on an A chord, the 5th mode of D melodic minor. So those would be the scales I was considering when playing over these progressions. Okay, now, so as I said, the first goal is to get the right notes at the right time. So let me play a couple solos doing that, and then I'll get a little more specific as far as what my intention was over the song. So here's just a couple random solos, just getting the right notes and trying to have some degree of melodic continuity. Okay, here's the solo, and this I'm not going to copy the original solo I did. I'll do completely brand new ones here. Okay, so here's solo take 1. Okay, that's usable. I'll take another one just to get comfortable here. Notice I pretty much got the chords and I had some degree of continuity there. Okay, I'll do another one. This will be take 2, really. Now notice in that solo, I had a little more activity going. I'll try for a third. Now, before I do that, let me discuss my goals. Notice this is the second solo of the piece. The first solo was the Rhodes/electric piano solo. It was right after the first A section. So now being the second solo, I wanted to have a little more activity since it's later in the piece, and to have a little more motion to it. So we're building tension toward the final sections of the song. So my goal is to have some melodic, motivic ideas going on, but at the very end, I want to have consistent 16th notes, so I land on the downbeat of the measure, of the first measure of the B section. Okay. Notice I even set up a little echo, so that the downbeat has that the one note that echoes in time with the music, tempo synced. So I definitely want to play consistent 16th notes at the end and end with a high D on the downbeat. Okay, so notice that's my soloistic goal. So I'm going beyond playing just the right notes. Now I have melodic ideas in mind that I want to build toward a climactic end of the solo. Okay, now I'll take one more pass at the solo, trying to do that again. So I'm going to take. Okay, here we go. So I was able to do it that time. So I had some motives going in the beginning, okay, and then the final measure of the solo was eighth notes driving me toward, or 16th notes, sorry, driving me toward the downbeat of the B section, which leads into the rest of the song. So it, in my opinion, musically, at that point in the song, that's what's needed solistically. Now let me play one that would not work, in my opinion, just for contrast. I'll do it the opposite way. I'll play very busy in the beginning, and then I'll leave some space at the end, and see what you think about that approach. I'll do one of those just to demonstrate. So here would be the way I would not want to do the solo. That's one approach, but notice it doesn't build the energy toward the climax of the beginning of the B section. Okay, that's what it's definitely missing. Okay, so like I said, I started with a lot of activity, which is not bad, but then it loses energy at the end of the solo. So that, to me, does not work melodically in the context of the song. There may be musical situations where that works, but to me, in that particular point in the song, in this song, it doesn't work for me. So I just want to describe a different approach to how to look at a solo and play it in the context of the song, and even going beyond playing correct notes and correct rhythms. So if you have any comments on this video, please feel free to leave comments or criticisms, questions, whatever, and I can address them in future videos if anything I said wasn't clear here. All right? Thank you again for watching and listening, and have a great afternoon. Oh, and please feel free to subscribe to the channel and like the videos if you feel you've got something of value out of them. Thanks again.